mission, I think, the mission of our nonprofit is to prepare and be ready for those families, right? That's our mission. That's our job. Our job is to be prepared for those families because they're called tragic water accidents for a reason, like, right? Mm-hmm. Who prepares for something like that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, nobody prepares. Nobody says, oh, we're prepared for that, Nobody prepares for that. They're called accidents for a reason, and we want to be ready for those,
That case gave me so much
reassurance.
Yes. Yes. And that case changed my life forever.
Wow.
For all these steps.
Yeah.
In Hawaii, in Honduras, in Cancun. That's the diver that Mercedes does, right?
Sure.
She dives,
but
in home.
No knock to Mercedes. Those dives sound incredible as well, okay?
I only dive and I only search for Dory, Nemo.
Dory, Nemo.
Welcome to Cam and Joe Show. My name is Joe with my good friend Cam.
Good morning, man. Happy Friday.
How are you?
I'm well, man. I'm blessed. I can't complain. How's your year kicked off?
Oh my gosh.
10 days of 2025.
Hyperproductive.
Hyperproductive?
Hyperproductive.
I like your style. Is that because you own a coffee shop and you're like three?
I'm doing more of my product.
I'm taste testing every product.
Every product I'm taking it all the time. So this is actually a super special episode.
It is.
You've probably been reading in the newspapers. You've been listening. I said reading. I thought I said listening for a second. But yeah, you've been reading in the newspaper. You've been listening about the story about the two kids that were gone, lost hunting, and that their bodies were found. Cameron, actually take it from here.
Yeah. I'm just super excited. We have my new friends, Mercedes and Juan Heredia of Angels Recovery with us today. Good morning, both of you guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for being here. So my pen almost died last night when I was writing down all of the hats that, Juan, you wear. Diver, dive instructor, realtor, lender, contractor. And now we're just going to add the name Hero to your business card because that is now how you are known through Northern California. Having done kind of my deep dive, no pun intended, having done my research last night on everything that you guys do with Angels Recovery, I feel I know a little bit more, but I would love our listeners, subscribers, viewers to get to know both of you individually a little bit more of you guys as the collective, and then everything that Angels Recovery is all about. So you guys have the floor.
Well, thank you so much for having us today. Like you said, my main job now is doing recovery for whole California, basically.
That's incredible. And you have been, how many years now, before we get into just recovery, how many years now, Juan, have you been in and around water, from dive instructor, cave diving instructor? Give us a little bit more of the history there.
Well, I started as I would say around 12, 13. My dad, everything started when my dad, we used to go to fishing. And we didn't have a lot of money, so my dad will hook in the rocks on the weed, and he will ask, hey, can you go and swim and go and pick it up? So my passion for the water, for the bottom, and I started from there. And then I started taking a class, and I graduated in 1996 as an instructor. So I have pretty much 30 years in the water. Yeah.
Got it. And then Mercedes, I want you to have the opportunity for people to get to know, because when you guys are on a recovery, it's not even just the two of you guys. It's also your son Matias, correct, as well as your daughter Camila. So all is the full Heredia family out there in these recoveries. So just give us a little bit more about yourself, Mercedes.
So we go out there and, everybody has a task to do. When we go out there, we I'm the mom, so I'm the one that usually likes to hold things down. I'm the one that does the prayers. God always comes first for us because he's the one that's going to protect my husband,
Amen.
So I'm the one that's always asking for prayers. We genuinely believe that no one is prepared for this, and moral support can't come from anyone better than someone mother to mother.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
moral support to a mom can't be anybody else than a mom.
Yeah.
And I consider myself to be the perfect person for that other mom on the other end.
You are effectively that liaison between the diver himself and the family who is doing their best to recover their loved ones.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Wow.
Correct.
That's incredible.
That's definitely a difficult position to be in.
Extremely.
So I'm guessing you're trained in that emotional help, emotional assistance. Other than being a mom is training enough. Absolutely.
Yes.
Like I totally get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we trained, I wouldn't say.
Sure.
Equipped though.
Equipped. I would probably say that.
Absolutely.
I would probably say that the strongest way that I can provide to a mother is genuinely knowing what they feel.
Yeah.
Because I, for once, lost my son 20 months ago. And I also lost him in a car accident due to drowning. And I never thought that I would be able to do this. When the first time, Juan went out to do a recovery for Xavier, and he said, I'm going to go help. And he said, you stay, we'll be back. And I said, I want to go. And he said, no, I don't think it's a good idea for you. And then I said, I want to go. And then he suggested, okay, that's fine. But let's take 2 cars. And if we get there and you feel uncomfortable, you get in your car and you just come back home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I was so
no questions
emotional.
asked
Like,
if it's not working out. Yeah.
And then I said, okay. And then I got there, and then I saw Xavier's mom sitting by herself in a chair, holding, just a candle, I believe she had on her hand, not a soul around her. And there was a compassion that I felt that I just wanted to be there. And I went and I gave her a hug. And at no point I felt like I don't want to be here.
Yeah. You were exactly where you needed to be.
And I felt like this is the place that I need to be. And I genuinely felt that I was giving her a hug. Like, I know exactly what you're feeling. Like, no one else can give you this hug and say, I'm sorry for your loss.
And I understand.
Like, I know what you're feeling. Like, I genuinely know what your heart is broken. It's 1,000 pieces, and so is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And grief, when you're able to meet someone in their grief and there's relatability there. I mean, because it's not like you gave her a hug and instantly went into talking about your son.
Yeah.
You were able to then connect about everything that you had walked through yourself. That part of your guys' connectivity to everything that Juan does actually in the water is incredible. Let's go. Let's fast forward to more recent. I definitely want to speak to everything that happened just up the freeway at the Thermo Afterbay with the 2 brothers, Andrew Cornett and Wesley Cornett. And again, anything that you feel comfortable speaking to, Juan and Mercedes, both of you guys, feel free to. I mean, open forum, we can discuss anything and everything, but by all means, Joe or I are never going to ask anybody to speak to anything that makes them too uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Right? So full discretion there, and in full respect of those departed. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind, Juan and Mercedes, just give us a little bit more understanding of the things that led to the eventual recovery of Andrew and Wesley.
So we heard the news on December 14 about these 2 boys that were hunting and they drowned. So we tried to reach to the family, and one of them, Ryan, called me and say, "Hey, we need your help." So on December 15, I went there and started doing the search.
The next day, the very next day.
The
Wow.
very next
Wow.
day. Yeah. And I spent 21 days diving with the family there. I moved to Yuba City.
Yeah.
And the recovery took too long, and the water was too cold. The weeds in the bottom was too high.
Yeah.
It was very hard to locate them in such a huge lake.
Yeah.
But total I dove 54 tanks.
54 tanks.
54 tanks.
Wow, 54 tanks over 21 days.
Yes.
And for those viewers who don't know the Thermo Afterbay, that gets filled directly from the Orville Dam, and Orville is over 750, almost 800 feet deep. So that water is cold.
Yeah.
You can hop in the Thermo Afterbay in the middle of August, and though it's only so deep, it is cold water, both the forebay and the afterbay. Quick notes on the afterbay itself: 17 miles of shoreline is a good amount of space. So there was obviously recovery units, dog teams, trackers, everybody out there, both nonprofit as well as Butte County, Yuba County, everybody, Sutter County out there. In addition to 17 miles of shoreline, 4,300 surface acres of water is a good amount. It's a good amount of space for you guys to be out there.
Correct.
But I mean, you having the history that you have in the water, the mindset of you were in the water on Christmas Eve, on Christmas Day, on New Year's Eve, on New Year's Day.
Yes.
That right there is, I just have an incredible amount of respect there, because that's truly incredible. So tell us a little bit more about the
I got a question really quick.
Go ahead.
How long does a tank last? So you said 54 tanks
Yes. So
on average.
Yeah, on average is 45 to 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So you're saying about 54 hours underwater approximately.
Oh, yes.
That's crazy.
With tank.
With tank.
Wow. And then anything that you're doing, just free diving down, and at what depth is most of the Afterbay?
I will say an average of 15, 20 feet.
Got it.
Average.
Okay.
Because there's a channel that go inside.
Correct.
So that's the average depth.
Got it. And speaking to, like you were saying a little bit even before we started rolling, the visibility how was the visibility down there when you're down there?
The visibility pretty much was about a foot. And there's so much weed inside and so thick that pretty much you have to bump on them to find them. There's no way to see pretty much. Remember that the system that we were using. First of all, let me clarify this.
Sure.
It took too long to find them because nobody witnessed where they went to.
Yeah.
So that was the main problem. We tried to figure it out. In which direction they were shooting, in which direction the bear were coming in,
correct,
and in which direction the kayak will take off, and in which direction Andrew is gonna follow the kayak. So everything was not a place that say, okay, they drowned here. Now we search in that area.
Sure.
We were everywhere, and we're talking about everywhere. The sheriff have 5, 6, 7 boats.
Yeah.
PG&E was there, and another agency were there. We were there, another fishermen were there, but we were in the whole lake because we didn't know where.
Again, 4,300 surface acre is a good amount of space.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So as it comes to the actual recovery, I believe they found Andrew, the older brother, right, first.
Yes.
And then I remember, because I started following you and I was just watching your posts every day. Like, we're not going to leave one brother in this water. I'm going to be here until both are brought home. What was that like? And maybe even Mercedes, you could speak to that. because again, you're right there and speaking with the mother and the family. When one boy is recovered, is that any how did the family take that? Okay, one boy's recovered. Is it we're halfway there? Is it more remorse, or what was that? If you could speak to that.
Well, we actually had a vigil for, the boys on Friday, I believe. And then, we just asked the community to pray, come out, support the family.
Yeah.
We're going to have a candle vigil. And the amount of people that came out to that candle vigil was so overwhelming. The mom was like, I don't know half of these people. Yeah. And I said, it's people that love you. It's your community. Yeah. It's just people saying, hey, we're here. We want to support you. And we were just overwhelmed by the amount of people that were there. There was probably over 200 people there.
It's incredible.
Wow.
Which was incredible.
To honor the boys.
And the power of prayer, 2 days later, Andrew was recovered.
They found Andrew. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
And I think there wasn't a moment where anybody felt like, okay, Andrew was recovered, we're done.
Yeah.
There was never that moment. It was, okay, Andrew's recovered, okay, Wesley's next. Like there was no stop. There was never a stop. There was like, okay, everybody was going, like, okay, there was, no one was stopping until Wesley was brought home.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Well, that just speaks to the rapport of everybody out there going, we're here. This is the job. 50% is not the completion.
Yeah,
we
correct.
will stay here until this full thing is done.
Yeah.
Correct. And to take it to the Christmas Eve and New Year Eve, that was something that wasn't just a dive for me that day. Was to be just with the boys in the water, and I was the only person to have the ability to dive that day, and I was with them pretty much. The Christmas, that was my intention. Spend your holiday with them. Wasn't just to another dive. That was a special dive because I sacrificed my Christmas Eve with my family to offer to them.
Well, that's an amazing sacrifice, just to sacrifice here and now to be able to help other people, and at least to get some closure for them as well. I mean, that's extremely admirable. It's incredible. So walk me through a regular rescue, because I'm not 100% sure on a lot of this. You hear about it on the news, you hear about it and you're like, hey, we're going to go. Do you make a phone call to an agency and then you go out to the spot? Is there a point person that's going, hey, we've searched here? Is there somebody leading like a map, a kind of an outline? Those kind of, what does that look like?
Okay, when first of all somebody tagged me in the news when they found out that somebody drowned, I contact the family and I contact the person that was with the victim to find out where that person drowned. The first thing that I say to the family is that I'm not leaving until they come out.
Yeah.
To any case, I'm not leaving. And so they feel that I'm not going, and I tell them that I'm not going to look for a body. I'm not to look for a son or a daughter. So that's what my approach to the family, right? Then I ask for a picture. I need to see them. I need to see the picture, the last one that you have. With that picture, I can put in my head, and I know what I'm looking for. So I start doing my search. They told me, okay, he's around here, and I start doing my search in that area. If it's a river, I start there and keep all as far as I can in the one day to cover that river. And then I come back the next day and start from there and keep searching. That's how I approach the search. I don't call anybody.
Sure.
I do by myself. I did one time, I called the sheriff because the information we got wasn't accurate. So we were concerned, and we called the sheriff to ask, hey, do you have this person that, we had a very upset sheriff department and against us because who we are, why you are here.
Got it.
And they
A
didn't
little
want-
bit of pushback in regards to,
We-
hey, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
No, Juan, you're okay.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
what? I'm here to help.
Yeah. The sheriff department, they don't want
Sure.
to have somebody else to
Sure.
do it.
Sure.
And they have the reasons, but there's no any reason for the families
Yeah.
to have that kind of pushback.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
My intention, like I said, we started with a nonprofit in
August.
August 2024.
Yeah.
My intention is to form groups of divers, group of fishermen with equipment, with sonars, group of moms, and group of companies that can help everywhere in California. So if I can go and dive by myself and find a son or a daughter, why not have 10 divers,
Absolutely.
20 divers,
Absolutely.
30 divers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why Mercedes and Camila is going to be the one that go and help the family outside when we can have 100 families there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why I have to call the company to bring a bathroom or bring water or bring bread or something for the family when they should know that comes right away?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's incredible.
my vision, our vision as a nonprofit, we want to do work, I say, like a Red Cross.
Yeah.
When they are on fire, when they have a flood, the Red Cross go there and help the family, right?
Yeah.
And no entity say no to Red Cross.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Right,
just
because
part
they
of
are
the
there for
experience.
help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is my vision. That is our vision as a nonprofit, and we want to be able to help those families. There's no funeral home
Sure.
that will come and say, hey, this is my service. For you guys, we have this discount, right?
Yeah.
So now as a nonprofit, what we can go and say to the funeral home, hey, can you donate the casket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a write-off if
Absolutely.
you donate to the nonprofit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we give it for free to the
Yeah.
family.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
that's incredible.
it's not just like I always say. If you go to the sheriff department and talk to the sergeant, an officer will say, "Okay, what is my mission today?
Sure.
Okay, your mission today is somebody drowned here,
Yeah.
and your mission is to put a team to go and search for that body.
Yeah.
That's what the mission is. My mission, our nonprofit mission is to go to the family. What do you think the mom will say?
Yeah.
I will ask the mom, I'm here to help. What do you want me to do? The same question that this officer asked to the sergeant,
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask the same question to the mom.
I love that.
I'm going to ask, Mom, what do you want me to do? She will never, ever say, can you go and look for a body?
No.
She will say, can you please go and bring my son and my daughter back?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's where we're coming from.
I love that. Well, it's also so much more powerful too, because we live in a world where we have to ask for permission to so many different things all the time. When, I mean, even back early 19th century, you had a volunteer fire department team. You had a volunteer peace officers that would volunteer their time. It was part of what we did as citizens. We volunteered, we helped each other, we served each other. When there was a mourning, there wasn't, hey, we should probably feed them. There was more than enough food for whoever was widowing. As time has passed, we've lost that connectivity.
Yeah.
We've lost that. You know, as much as social media is a blessing, it's an isolating curse as well. And so what you're talking about is truly inspiring, because you're going, no, we're not going to go to a system and say, hey, can I have permission system? We're going to go to the person who's hurting. And we're going to say, how can we help you? How can we serve you? How can we love you and get you some closure so that you can move on to the next part of your life?
Yeah.
Correct. Because it's not a body, like you said. It's a son, or
Son and a daughter, yeah.
a father or a mother, and to be able to meet that person in their mourning and in their grief with that level of respect. Juan and Mercedes is it just exemplifies and puts on full display your heart for this, which is just hugely incredible.
Well, the mission, I think the mission of our nonprofit is to prepare and be ready for those families, right? That's our mission. That's our job. Our job is to be prepared for those families.
Yeah.
Because they're called tragic water accidents
Yeah.
for a reason, like, right? Who prepares for
Yeah,
something
tragic.
like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
nobody
acute. It's
prepares.
right then.
Nobody says, oh, we're prepared for that,
Yeah.
Nobody prepares for that. They're called accidents for a reason, and we want to be ready for those,
Well, well, especially like you're talking about the police officer. He goes, "What's my mission today? My mission today is I got to go put a team. We're going to go find a body in this spot." Well, then guess what? That doesn't stop the crime from still happening in the areas they have to go. That doesn't stop them from having to do all the other things that they're doing. And so there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it going, man, what? You should be asking for permission. Or you could be looking at it going, no, we need to serve because there's already an overwhelm that's happening in these other places, and we need to come alongside the families and help bring clarity with them, working, and I'm curious about this for you guys. So when I was at the hospital and somebody that passed, if we ever found a body, or not found a body, but we had to take a body and somebody passed, no matter the age, there was a hush, there was a silence that kind of happened. So it's a natural mourning. Everyone kind of have a quiet, what's that like when you found the body and now you're going to present that to the family?
Yeah. Everybody asks that question, and how we approach that. What drive me to do that, right? Remember I asked you about the picture?
Yeah.
In the beginning?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a body. I'm looking for a son.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
looking for that person in particular.
Sure.
Because I want to bring. It's a victory for me.
Yeah.
To bring the son or daughter to the family. So I do have nightmares, of course.
Yeah.
I do have nightmares, but I have those nightmares. I have it for a couple of days that I cannot sleep. But as soon as the first thing I do, I ask to my daughter is print the picture because we're gonna have it in the living room. And I have every single one in my living room. So when I wake up and I see them, I see the smile. I erase all the image that I have when I pick them up, which they are no good images.
No.
But I erase it by myself, putting their picture in my living room. And going back to your question, it's like bring your son to your mom is something that say, oh my God, the feeling they say to the family, here's your son, here's your daughter.
Yeah.
It's amazing. That feeling is amazing.
Yeah.
I put a lot of respect, a lot of feeling to the family, to the person that drowned, to my family, because it's everybody. We are very sentimental involved in this.
Yeah. Wow.
I want to add something to that.
Please.
No, please do.
So I know your question is, how do you deliver the news to, the parents? Hey, we found your son, we found your daughter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when the first time we found Xavier,
And Xavier, to speak to this, Xavier
that's
was
our very first case.
recovery.
And we
which
thought
was as recent as
March of last year.
Wow.
So the recovery aspect of your guys
8 months.
8 months.
And that's our first time
Wow.
ever doing
Wow.
that, right?
Yeah.
So we think, okay, we're going to let the authorities deliver the news to the mom because, we're new. We don't know what we're doing. We're not experts, they know how to do it. I don't want to go and tell her, like, she might go ballistic. She might, we don't know what the reaction is, right? We're going to let the experts, because their knowledge, they have experience.
Absolutely.
So that was the plan. The plan is, we already had a plan. We already had to plan it out. We're going to call the authorities. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to do this. The authorities are going to come. They're going to take over. They're going to deliver the news. We're going to step back. We're going to let them do the job. So the mom's sitting down. She's, crying, still thinking that, her son's still underwater. The police is there. She's wondering what's going on. Why is all the police here? She still doesn't know that
Sure.
her son has been found, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody has told her. And then so we go and we tell the sheriffs, hey, she's still wondering what's all the commotion about. I think you guys need to let her know. And then, he says,
The sheriff.
with a sign,
Yeah.
with his finger, like
Sure.
telling her, like, come here,
Call the mom. like
call the
this.
mom like this.
Oh.
The mom gets up and then she goes over there and then he basically tells her, like, she's standing, like she almost collapsed in front of him.
Yeah.
I was so livid.
We could
Oh, yeah,
get better at the
Like
bedside
I
manner.
ran over there
Yeah.
and I like held her and I was so livid at him. I was like,
I would be.
I could have done a better job. And after that,
You're like, I'm
Bro,
doing
you,
it.
You botched the hell out of that.
yes.
Yeah.
And after that, then we decided, okay, how are we going to deliver the news,
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? We're going to do it because it's coming from the heart.
Yeah.
It's coming from,
A grieving mother to
Yes.
a grieving mother.
Yeah.
yes,
When it comes to a
So-
lot of grief classes, because when I had to take quite a bit when I was working in the medical field, but a lot of it is common sense stuff. A lot of it is respecting, honoring the person, loving the person. That's really all it is. And it's rules for people who don't know how to respect, honor, and love people.
Yeah.
yeah,
So when you naturally have it,
yeah.
and you see somebody else failing at it, you're like, you took the class, you have all the certifications. How are you not good at being human? Because to them
You
it was a
what?
class. It was a requirement. For you, your mother.
And to call
Just-
somebody over
it's
like this,
just
like you're in
natural. It's
trouble.
just human
Yeah.
kindness,
Correct.
Yeah.
The next person, the next mom. I mean, I hugged her, and then I said, "Your daughter's in heaven. We have her."
Love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Even
You know?
though,
Yeah.
in the same case, when I grab a Xavier and they put in the boat, and they take him out, right? And hours and hours and hours pass, and they didn't want to tell the mom if that was the son or not. Oh, we have to check, we have to confirm, we have to do
Sure.
the ADN and
Sure.
this and that. But the mom didn't know if it was her son or not.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, lesson learned, when I went to search for Brenda, I found Brenda. We called the chef that was in the boat. They came and said, you know what, hold a minute. They want to see them, Brenda.
Oh, the
I'm
family.
going to show to them first,
Mm.
then give it to you.
Yeah.
So,
Let them verify.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the husband came and say, "Oh my God, he was crying." Was his wife, right? And then, okay, now you can take it.
Yeah.
So every time we're learning something and we're getting better for the family.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and every time, I mean, it's a terrible tragedy every time, but that refines the craft, if you would,
Yes.
every time, both from recovery and then post recovery, and how you interact with the family and how you bring that news and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Speak really. I wanted to. Appreciate and respect that you guys brought up both Xavier and Brenda. Could you speak really quick to those rescues,
Yes.
recoveries, if you would?
Yeah. Well, with Xavier was my first case on March 21st. The sheriff were searching for 6 days. And they have boats, drones, divers, dogs. And they call off the search in the 6th day. And I went next day and I found Xavier in 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes on day
30
7,
minutes.
your first day in the water.
Yes.
What was that, other than God's divine hand telling you exactly where to go?
Yeah.
What was that? Just an incredible amount of experience and intuition? Speak to that.
Let me tell you what happened there. The river was long. I was doing my plan to do the search and complete the whole river, cover the whole river with my search. But before to go diving, I asked the mom, say, "Mom, where do you think your son is?" She looked at me and say, "I don't know, but tell me, what you think, what you feeling?" And she say, "I think my son is right there." And I went diving there, and the son was right there.
Wow.
That's why I didn't start doing my search, my parent search, because she told me where the son was.
That's amazing.
But let me tell you what happened this with Xavier. So I went down and I found him. You expect that a body will be laid down in the front. That's how you imagine that he's gonna be in the front. He was stand up.
Really?
His hands was like this, and he was looking to the sky.
Wow.
How old was Xavier?
15.
15 years old.
So I have a rope that was anchored in the shore, and that was my plan to do the search with a rope. So when I found Xavier, I tied the rope to his arm, so I don't want to lose it when I go up. Right?
Yeah.
So I started going up, and the line of the rope at the end was the mom sitting
Perfectly?
perfectly.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I put my rope under the slope,
Gosh.
and the mom wasn't sitting by that time. When I came up, the mom was sitting in the same straight line as the son. That case,
Oh, wow.
that case gave me so much
Reassurance.
yes, yes, and that case changed my life forever
Wow.
for all these steps.
Yeah.
And that was something unbelievable to see.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Reassurance, like Joe said, I am exactly where God wants me today. I'm
Yes.
exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's incredible. And then, did you have anything else? Right there?
Yeah. So what I was going to ask was, kind of more just landing the plane. Your guys' nonprofit Rescue Divers. If people are listening to this and they wanna learn about diving instructing, you're saying you want a fleet of 10 guys.
Yeah.
Maybe there's 10 people listening to this that go,
Yeah.
hey, I want to reach out to this nonprofit. Or there's people that have finances that are going, hey, we want to fund. We want to help buy stuff to help the families, help you recover people and bring closure for families in a loving, compassionate way. How could they be able to do that?
Okay. So first of all, you're right. We need equipment, and we need technology,
Yeah.
and we need people. We need divers. If they're not divers, I'm gonna train them. I'm gonna get the certification to become a divers. But those divers they're not gonna be just. We're gonna separate the divers that want to take a dive in Hawaii and in Honduras, in Cancun. That's the diver that Mercedes does, right?
Sure.
She dives,
But
in home.
no knock to Mercedes. Those dives sound incredible as well, okay?
I only dive and I only search for Dory, Nina.
Dory, Nemo.
So, and then we have those divers that really want to help us.
Yeah.
And they're going to be refined in the skills, right? And the donation that we receive is not just for equipment. It's not just to run the nonprofit. We take the donation to the family. So in this case, we donate $1,000 to the family.
Awesome.
Every time that we have money, we move the money to the family. That's our main concern is the family.
Absolutely.
If I have
That's
enough,
evident.
if I have enough equipment, the equipment that I use was 25 years old. And I still using it. I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna go and buy a new equipment if I using that.
Yeah. Sure.
If I can get equipment for another student or for another volunteers and RV stuff that we are gonna use for the family, that's perfect. But it's gonna be enough. We're gonna reach the maximum of equipment that we need.
Yeah.
The rest is for the family.
Yeah.
The rest is to prevent more drowning because we're planning to teach to go to schools and teach safety water.
Absolutely.
Our plan is to provide a life jacket for people that cannot afford it, or just give it to the hunting club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a perfect opportunity for us to reach to the hunting club
Yeah.
and do something that will force those kids to wear a life jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not about the other, it's about us.
Yeah.
What we can do to get to that point. So that's why we receive donations, and that's why we need more people to come. Like I said, you don't need to be a diver. You can be just a mom and come and cook a nice meal for those people there.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want the community,
community
to
to-
feel that pain, to feel that they're supporting the other family in grieving.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And speaking to that community and this community on behalf of
Yeah.
this community and all of the families that have been impacted, both the Clark family and the Cornett family, from the bottom of our hearts, and speaking on behalf of these communities, thank you guys for everything that you've done, and not just for these two boys, but for the many others. So God bless you guys in all of your pursuits. And again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing us to better understand all that Angels Recovery is all about. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. The Yuba, Oroville, all those surrounding communities, they truly came together, and we really couldn't see family-oriented community as we have seen.
Yeah.
Truly, everybody around there, people from Chico came and said, hey, I don't know the family, but I've been here for the last 2 vigils you guys have had, and, what can I do? I mean, just everybody really was pouring out their hearts for the family, and that just meant the world. Even just being there praying, that's all we needed.
That's amazing.
So thank you so much.
Is there a website that people can go to, or is there how could they donate right now? If they're listening to it or something, they're like, hey, right now I want to do this.
Yeah. So right now, like I said, our Angels Recovery Dive Team is a brand new nonprofit organization.
Sure.
We will give you the information.
Yep.
They can make checks and mail them to Angels Recovery Dive Team. We do have a Venmo, Angels Dive with 1 E, because, we do have a lot of bad people out there, and somebody already made a fraudulent Angels Dive
Doesn't
with
surprise me.
2
Yeah, don't get me
E's,
started.
with
Don't get me
2
started.
E's.
Wow. Come on.
So, but our website is in the works, and we hope to have that up and running. And
As soon as you guys do, let us know.
As soon as we have it, yes.
Yeah,
As soon as we
put it
have
out
our website up and running, we'll shoot that information over.
Thank you guys for your hearts of compassion and kindness. I mean, really what you're showing and what you're doing is you're bringing community together. And most people are looking for an opportunity to serve. They're looking for a way and a reason. And you guys are doing that. You're going, here's a reason, here's a way. You can come with us. Let's all help these people together. And like you were saying, if it's prayer, if it's cooking, if it's you want to get in the water, you want to learn equipment, I think that's extremely admirable. So thank you so much.
And we will have on our website, we'll have a tab for volunteer, where people can go on there, click on that tab, and see what opportunities on there for them to sign up for.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Love it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cut. Thank you for checking out the Cam and Joe Show.
If you guys are liking our content so far, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also listen to us on Spotify.